Hey, Scott Williams, you ready to do our thing?
I am. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. Let's get it.
All right, come on back.
Please welcome Jackie Bibby, the Rattlesnake Man.
Come on.
Hey, Jackie, are you ready for me?
Absolutely, I'm ready.
All right. So tell me what's going on with you.
I think this thing's in pretty good shape right now, really. I did recently change the liner out because that liner I had in it was about worn out.
Okay.
But aside from that, I think it's in pretty good shape. You can just kind of
Let's take a look at everything.
go over everything on it and see how it's fitting. But
Come over here.
you know, this is about the best leg you've ever built for me.
Oh, great. Thank you. I'm glad it's working for you.
It is working really well.
Lift it straight up. Let me check. No loss of suspension. It's not coming off when you're sitting.
No, sir.
Remember when you used to have that problem when you get in the car and take long rides, it would kind of eat at you? Is that completely gone?
It is.
Excellent. All right.
And when you gave me this little thing, this little trigger right here, that is the most handy thing you ever
Yep.
did for me. Because, man, being able to move that thing around like that,
I don't think I've ever had anybody not like that thing. That's great.
that thing is handy as a pocket on a shirt.
All right. Do you mind putting your shoes on, or you?
Okay, I guess I can. You know, I walk around in the house all the time with just my stocking feet.
All right. Let's try it.
Now, is that something I shouldn't be normally doing? I mean,
Well, I'll check everything and make sure. Well, what it does is it changes your alignment when you walk barefoot. So as long as you're okay with it, it's probably.
it's just when I'm at the house, but I mean, there's not much. I guess there's a little more elevation in the shoes.
Yeah, it does. It changes the alignment, but it does now explain the hole in your sock.
Okay.
So,
And my shoe, it wears a hole in my shoe too.
oh, does it?
And,
Okay.
yeah, it's just a little inside.
Actually, all right. Let's have a seat. I need to look at something then.
Okay, you want me to take it off?
No. Leave it
Not
on.
yet?
Nope. I need to look at this. If you're telling me it's causing holes in your shoe, then we need to look at what this is doing. Yep. All right, there you go. So you're eating through the bottom of the foot shell. Oh man, I wish I'd seen this earlier.
Well, you know I'm probably going to do it all wrong. God, I did kind of wear it out, huh?
That's why it's eating through your shoe. When you told me that, I said immediately I know what's going on. So this is
Man, my foot's ugly without that foot on there.
yeah, it kind of is.
That really looks bionic.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is what we have you in for, to evaluate it. So what you did is you ate through that sock, and then that sock ate through that foot shell, and then the carbon ate through your shoe.
Huh, okay.
So there you go. I'm glad you said that. I wouldn't have caught that otherwise.
So have you got something to
Yeah.
replace that with?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to replace the sock, and that'll keep it from eating any further. But this needs to be replaced. This is trash. I don't think I've got one here, but I can dig through and see. But I need to order it. And then I can teach you how to pop it off so that I'll just mail it to you. And then you can do it at the house. Just replace it yourself. Sound good?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, getting a new tire change.
Yeah.
You've hit 60,000 miles. It's time for you haven't rotated them
Oh,
properly.
it's way past 50,000 miles, I think.
All righty, let me take a look here. What I'm gonna go do, steal your foot for a second. See all the black on my hands? That's the carbon fiber wearing off. The foot is actually, you know.
That's what it's made out of, that foot,
It's all
carbon fiber?
Yep, all carbon fiber. So that carbon fiber is all wearing down and just becoming dust. And eventually it's gonna, you know, get so weak that it can't snap. But I mean, I see plenty of life still left in it, so you're good. Oh man.
You know, I think it's interesting now that I've had this prosthetic for 8 years. I'm used to this thing, and we do this kind of stuff all the time, and it don't freak me out at all. But, you know, I'm almost embarrassed to say this, but when I didn't have a prosthetic leg, prosthetic stuff spooked me. It scared me a lot of the times, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it was going to hurt me or anything, but when I see some other prosthetic, I just kind of cringe a little bit.
Yeah,
And now here I am with one, and I'm used to it, and it's nothing cringe-worthy necessarily, but
Yep.
I don't know if other people ever feel that way or not.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're not the minority. It's the majority. And it's just, it's people. For lack of better words, it's ignorance. We don't understand things that are different about ourselves. And
It looks bionic.
It does.
It
It
like
looks
something
different.
ought to be in a picture show.
And I think a lot of times when people meet you, they're afraid to make eye contact or to, they want to see it, but they don't want to be caught seeing it.
Yeah.
So, that's what.
Sneaking a peek.
Exactly. That's what's great about you.
But it's funny because the little kids, I
Oh,
show
they-
it to the little kids all the time, and
Yeah.
they just want to grab it and play with it,
Yeah.
But grown people, they'll shy away.
Yeah, kids are more inquisitive and they don't have the.
Well, that's interesting
Phobias.
that I guess other people have felt that way. I thought I was the only one that ever felt like that.
Nope. And it's your job to show them.
Here I am, not being unique.
Nope,
You know that's hard for me.
Yeah, well, you're not unique, and that's what's great about you. But the thing is that to educate people, show them what you can do, show them that this isn't a hindrance to your life, and that you can still do everything you did before. And
Yeah,
stop
I'm
you.
really shocked that I can do as much as I do
Yeah.
because I was afraid it's going to really limit me, but it hadn't that
Oh,
much.
you've done awesome.
I mean, I just think I've done virtually everything I ever did with the prosthetic that I did before
Without
I
it.
had one.
Had
I
it.
just do it a little slower and a little differently. You got to kind of make adjustments.
Yep. No, you've done awesome.
Still make it happen. Well, good. Maybe you can put that back together
Yeah,
for me.
I can. I'm gonna go. Let me go wash it out. I don't know if I'm gonna have another foot shell for you, but I'm gonna look. If I've got one, I give you a spare to get you by. But then we need to order you a new one.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Give me a second.
Thanks.
I wasn't there.
Oh, okay. So they were.
I know. I was
dropped
on the
my
beach.
life jacket. And
Yeah,
he
started
dropped
yelling.
everything and took off running.
Started yelling at me.
All right.
Let's let them go.
So a new sock, and next I'm gonna go see if I can find a used foot shell to get you by. There's no repairing those once they break.
It looks like I tore that in all pieces.
I really am glad you told me that you were digging holes in your shoe, because that I would have not checked that.
See, look.
Yeah, it's the carbon fiber. Man, it's amazing how fast it'll eat through stuff.
I'm wanting to do as much research as I can on that osseointegration
Mm-hmm.
because I have a great interest in that.
Yeah, you'd be a good candidate for it.
I think so.
Just finding a doctor that would do it.
Yeah.
It's been.
Because if I understand it correctly, they're going to implant a titanium rod in my thigh bone.
Yeah, they actually cut you back open and they bore up through the femur, and then they put this piece of metal in there that's got kind of a negative, it's like a threaded part in it. And then they sew you back up, and you go about your life wearing the same prosthesis.
Yeah.
And then about, I don't know how many months later, after you've healed up, they cut you back open and they screw a piece that goes and exits the skin. And then they bring the skin flap back over it, allow that to heal. And then you got to go into therapy, and they start applying pressure, and that's going to strengthen the bones. So they're going to.
Is there a period of time where you're on crutches or something? Or you
Oh
can't
yeah. And so there's a period of time where I don't even know if you can wear a prosthesis. Maybe we can design one that will incorporate that piece that's coming out and not get in the way, so you can wear maybe a traditional socket with it. I just don't know. I just know that once that piece is.
Because you haven't ever actually done one before.
No,
Well,
I've
maybe
never
I
seen
could be
one.
your test subject.
Yeah, I'd love it. I mean, it would be what I would want. The socket is flawed, and it's in what we're trying to do. We're trying
Because
to.
from the videos I've seen of it, the convenience will just be.
Oh, it'd be huge. Yeah,
Great.
yeah. Plus, you could change weight. Your leg could swell or shrink, and you don't have to worry about the fit. It's cooler. It fits under clothes better. It's far superior, but it's more responsive. So as you move, it's an extension of your femur. Right now, I'm trying to get a prosthesis or a socket built so that when you move your femur, that force in the femur is then drawn or then transferred into the prosthesis, and that's very hard to do with soft tissue. So that osseointegration is like instant. I mean, it's when your femur moves, prosthesis responds, and so it's
I
much
want to
better.
get that if I can.
But like I said, it's a process. Like I said, as soon as they pull that piece in there and it's coming outside the skin, you don't just go start wearing the prosthesis. They have to start.
Well, I said
building
what I read on the internet said it takes a year to a year and a half of adjustment.
Exactly.
But then once you do it, they said it's a dramatic amount of percentage better, easier walking,
I agree.
better, more things you can do.
I agree. But
I
you
think
got
it'd be worth it.
You got to be willing to give up about a year and a half of of your time and going back into the knife, which is, difficult. So, and a lot of surgeons might be a little cautious about elective surgery like that, but you're not diabetic, right?
No.
Okay, so that helps. If you're diabetic, you're done. Any vascular disease where they might think you won't heal up or you'll get an infection, because the last thing you want to do is have an infection and then have to go up higher on the amputation.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it
no,
would
I'm
be
not
too great a
diabetic at
risk.
all, and really in pretty decent shape, I think.
Okay. I've got a doctor that would be willing to talk to you about it if you were interested.
Let's keep
so.
that on the burner, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with you. All right.
All right, well, see if you can put me back together.
Oh,
and then,
definitely can.
Maybe we'll let me walk for you.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me see. I got your foot shell. I don't have a lot of freedom feet. Oh, that's close right there. 26, right. Yeah, nothing. All right, we'll have to order it. All right, no foot shell. So just be careful.
So we're not going to put one on it at all? Or?
No, we're definitely gonna put a foot shell on you. But I'm just gonna have to put the same one that came off of
Okay,
you.
all right.
But it's
I walked in here on it.
Oh, I know. I'm so glad you said something. All right, I'll be back in literally 2 seconds. All right. Okay, so do you have a shoehorn at home?
I don't know. I know.
All right. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's not hard to get these off, but you think you could do that?
Yeah.
Or
Sure.
this one's going to be easy to get on because it's broken.
Yeah, but when I get a new one, it'll
It
be
might.
tighter.
It's going to be a little tighter. So if you look,
I can find a shoehorn.
let me show you how this works because I think that'll make sense. So you see that lip in there?
Yeah, not in there.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so the back of that carbon, the heel piece
Okay.
up underneath it. So what you want to make sure is that gets clipped underneath there. Because if you don't, you'll ride up on top of that and you'll know. I mean, it's going to pitch you forward, and every time you step down, it's going to feel like a shock absorption under you, like there's a spring. And if you
Once
don't,
you get it on, you kind of got to pull it back and let that go under that
yeah,
ridge there.
I may send you a foot shell. We'll see. Not a foot shell, but a shoehorn. So you
Well,
can
I
push
can
it,
find one
like
and-
you can hear, listen. Here, clip. All
yeah.
right, so I just pushed until it clipped. My only concern is that,
The
with
new
it,
tight one will be
yeah,
harder.
it's going to be a little harder. It won't be that easy.
Okay,
So
I'll
if
be
you
aware that it's got to.
if you can't get it and make just next time you come in, just know that your shoes are going to be eaten up a little bit. But I know you're a long ways away, so you don't come out this way that often. And then you're just going to push the foot shell or the sock down in there, but just make sure it's up high enough to kind of give you a little bit of protection around the foot shell, because it will squeak if you don't. Yeah,
I'll
that's
get a
it.
new sock when I go home.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it because you're just going to tear another hole in it.
Okay.
Yeah, keep this one on until the foot shell's replaced. I can get you the foot shell by probably end of next week, easy.
Okay.
It just depends.
All right.
Hey,
Before I walk, I want to take this off and let you look at this liner because I just changed liners
Okay.
in this thing, and because the one I had was worn out, I threw that away. But I want to make sure this one check the fit and everything. You know, one of the
oh
things
yeah, no, that's
that I
perfect.
think is funny when I was waiting to come get my first prosthetic from you, and I just had a stump, and I had no idea about a sleeve or how these things held on or anything else. There's somebody that was there in Rising Star that had a husband that died, and he had a prosthetic leg. She said, "I got his leg if you want it." I was thinking, well, I'll just go get that leg. Wear this leg.
We're good to go.
I'm shocked I didn't get that leg and shove it on my stump.
You're lucky you
and try to
didn't.
walk.
you would have hated it.
I don't think it would have went well.
I've had a lot of people buy
But
legs
that's
off
how
of eBay.
naive I was about it. I didn't know how you
No,
held a leg on.
people think it's small, medium, large. Some people think I work on an assembly line manufacturing these things. It's all custom. That is so funny. Yeah,
You know, that thing.
That's perfect fit.
Because it'll hold that thing on there, even when I'm doing stunts and they're having to pull me out of that sleeping bag by my foot. You know, they don't pull it off. So
I kind of wish they had, though. I think that would have been funny.
We might do it for fun sometime.
I think that would have been great. All righty, let's put it back on. You don't use alcohol, do you?
No.
Okay, not with this system.
That
You don't.
silicone thing is, and that what it's made out of? Silicone?
That is probably, I think that's silicone.
I think that's what you had told me.
Yeah, some are silicone. They're different materials, but I'm pretty certain that's a silicone one.
I sure like it better. The other one first few you gave me were cloth.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
They had a
that's
cloth
yeah.
inside, and then I had to spray
You had to
alcohol.
spray alcohol in them. These you don't have to.
These are way better.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just more rigid. So, but everybody's different. I got some that don't like them, some that do.
Where else you gonna see a 70-year-old man with a store-bought leg on one side that can do more than a lot of 30-year-olds who've got both their legs?
Two-year residency. So,
You're almost a doctor.
yeah, almost.
Well,
Feels
you're
like it.
technically a prostheticist.
Prosthetic practitioner. So yeah, we're
Prosthetic practitioner.
yeah, or you can call it a prosthetist, but it's a mouthful, so we usually tend to just call it prosthetic
That's too close to
practitioner.
prostitute.
Exactly. I've got guys
You
that
ain't
do
gonna
it.
be one of them.
I got a guy every time he's in here, the phone rings. Like, I'm in here seeing my male prostitute. I'm gonna call you back. Like I just go with it. And,
Yeah, really.
and I have people call me doctor, and it's too much work to correct them. Like whatever. So we're not doctors. We're part of the allied health field, but
Yeah, don't argue.
no, it's just not worth it.
That's
so.
like people telling me about big snakes and stuff. A long time ago, I quit telling them there ain't no snakes that big. It's your story, you're telling it, so I'm not going to bother you with it.
Exactly. Yeah, you've heard it all, I'm sure.
Right.
Excellent. All righty.